Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Seven of Stones in Healing. And, thinking about this card today, we came out of the World Tree, the Heron greeted us, and, once we got past that message of what the Heron had to say with his intuition and his, the psychic gifts, we fully got out of the World Tree. And now we felt kind of vulnerable and exploited. Our intuition is I wouldn't say it's a mess, but it's just, I got to listen to it, right? We've got all these emotions bubbling up with the moon on water and working on our inner fortitude and inner strength with, the woodward. And then, we're looking at, office settings, family settings, and just, okay, what's the truth of the matter that's coming out here? Our emotions and our thought process are just not aligned because it's almost like we're being misled, okay? So what do? You fall back on your skill set. You fall back on what is safe, which is that 8 of Stones skill, right? And you also look at it and you say, you know what? I have a responsibility to continue doing what I'm doing, right? With that skill set that you have, maybe it's in your work situation, maybe it's in your relationship, right? And it's just a responsibility to the family, responsibility to the community, okay? And as you've gone back over the last couple of days, gotten back to kind of who you are, right? Working on that inner strength, working on that inner fortitude, you're healing yourself in a way. You're healing yourself to say, you know what? I need to strengthen my intuition, my constitution, my strength, inner strength by not feeling vulnerable. Okay, so I'm going to spend some time in meditation. I'm going to spend some time, with the Green Man, and just understanding the healing nature of the emotional aspect that I've just been going through. Okay, that how did I get involved? In all this, where did my, intellectual strength, where did it go? Why am I letting my emotions, get a hold of me? And sometimes it's good for you to let go of those emotions. It's good to have a good cry in the shower, or in the backyard, or out on the road. It's good to just let loose and just yell, right? And just blah, right? And just let go, and just let it go to the universe, because once you let it go, then healing starts, right? And that's true after any injury, being it physical, emotional, psychological, whatever it is. There's a time of healing that's required. And, for the last 7 to 8 days, I feel it's more the emotional healing, right? And the intellectual, some of it. And it's just, just open your arms to the universe and let the Spirit hear what you've got to say. If you've got gripes or whatnot, go ahead and, put them out there. Look at that 2 of arrows in justice. The gold weighs just as much as the feather. And when you go ahead and you vent to the universe, that's a sign of healing. That's a sign of letting go. That's a sign of, I want to be done with this, right? And you're cutting that emotional cancer, that intellectual cancer that's holding you back, and you're cutting it out, and you're just giving it to the universe, and the universe is going to say, you know what, we hear you. Your spirit's going to grab it, take it away from you, right? And another form of forgiveness, another form of healing is forgiveness. Take the time to forgive yourself for getting back into that. Here you've had a great journey for 90 days. You got into the World Tree. You saw everything that the World Tree has to offer. You saw how deep the roots went. You've seen all 4 seasons. You had a great journey for 90 days. And these last 10, you feel like you're struggling with something. Okay? Forgive yourself for even thinking that way. Forgive, the universe for saying, you know what? The challenge is that's right there in front of me. It's just like, it's too hard to let go. It's okay. You can let go of that, And you know what? Forgive yourself for even holding on to it. You know, forgive those that have hurt you in the past. You know, maybe that gossip got to you or something like that. You know, because words can be damaging and they can have a lasting effect. But if you recognize that now and you're aware of it, all right, and you say to yourself, why am I so upset over what so-and-so said or did? You know what? That all they're doing is trying to hold me back on my journey. You know, and I'm just going to keep moving on. Don't regret that decision, because that's another emotion that lingers and wastes energy, right? Look at that and say, you know what? I'm aware of it. You know what, Susie, you know, I forgive you for saying what you said. I forgive myself for going down that road of that emotional turmoil, that intellectual turmoil, right? And just, you know what? I'm going to change my spirit. I'm going to change the way I move around. Like a friend of mine once said, you know, I choose joy. Choose joy during this time, right? Understand the underlying motive of what's going on and accept that self-forgiveness. And when we can accept forgiveness within ourselves and forgiving others, you heal. You heal yourself. And you heal the situation that's bound you, all right? It's just like cutting that cord and just saying, you know what, I'm done. I forgive you. And however it turns out in the future, we can't decide what's going on. It's the way it turns out, okay? So, you know, you strengthen that bond with universe and spirit, you know, by being forgiving. You know, and as a result of that, you heal that emotional turmoil, you heal that, you know, intellectual turmoil, and you move forward. And you recognize, hey, these 10 days have been tough. It's been a challenge. It's been an obstacle, but guess what? You've gotten through it, okay? Because you learned to, you know, sit by the green man, meditate, and just say, you know what? I'm not going to allow this negativity, you know, to affect me. And I forgive you. However that negativity came in, I forgive you. I forgive myself for even allowing that to happen. And you take on that mantra of forgiveness. And once you do that, the universe starts flowing again. It starts flowing through you, right? Washing that negative energy away. So that's today's card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck. If you'd like a reading, check out the link below. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, share it with others, and give me a thumbs up. And this is D for the Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, and stay safe, everybody.